And that's the secret. You need to stir fry the rice with some oil before you cook it. Swadee and welcome back for another episode of Cook Thai with Momo, where Thai home cooking is possible for anyone, and that includes you too. In today's clip, we're going to make the Thai style of the Hainanese chicken. In all fairness, this is not a Thai dish, but we also adopted it and made our own version too, and the main difference is in the sauce. It involves a lot of ingredients, so today I'm going to show you the ingredients in each element of the dish. First, in front of me here is the ingredients that you need in order to make the chicken. And of course, I also categorize in the essentials and non-essentials. And here's the ingredients for the rice. And this is for the sauce. And for the sauce, I have this sweet soy sauce. You can also replace this with the dark soy sauce as well. And finally, this is totally optional. With the chicken stock, you can also make another soup. I now have the winter gourd. If you cannot find the winter gourd, you can also exchange it for daikon radish. Let's begin with preparing the chicken. You need spring onions. This is also optional. I think it provides very little flavor into the dish. So what you want to do is to remove the roots and then just cut into big chunks. The ginger is the recurring theme of this dish. You always include it in the chicken, in the rice, or in the sauce. So I'm going to just cut just about what I think I will use. I think I'll just use only this much. This is about 100 grams. Next, you want to peel the skin out. You can also use the peeler. Then we use about 3 to 4 slices for the chicken. Here's the chicken. I'm doing something that is a little bit unconventional. Usually you will see Hainanese chicken, people will use the whole chicken. I'm just using the drumstick because of 2 reasons. First, I really like the drumstick better than the other parts of the chicken. And secondly, I think cooking just one part of the chicken makes it easier for us to control how much it is going to be cooked. But it also has some downsides. First of all, the ginger and the spring onion, usually you just insert it into the chicken. But this thing you can't. And the other point is the skin, when it's cut out like this, when it's cooked, it is going to crease a little bit. It doesn't stick to the meat as well. But because we are home cooker, just make it easy. We don't have to make things always look nice. So what I want to do is use salt, and we're just going to dry brine it. And I have here about 1 teaspoon of the salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over it. A lot of folks will say this step is not necessary because the flavor will not go into the chicken. But I think why not, right? And I'll have here the sesame oil. I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons and just rub all over the chicken. And in the dry brining process, I also put in the ginger and also spring onions too. And you want to do it for about 4 hours. Even overnight is even better. One last thing for the chicken. If you have a lot of skin like this, you can just trim it out, and you can also use it to put into your rice too. It tastes a lot better that way. But I like eating skin on its own, so I'm just going to leave it out here. Another thing is you should put this thing into the airtight container. So let's just put it into the fridge. Alright, and so 4 hours has passed, and I have a pot here, and I'll just put in 5 cups of water, and I'll just bring it to boil. The water is now boiling, and I have my chicken here. So let's just put it in. Put the scallion and ginger in too. Once you put it in, bring it to boil first. Then we'll just turn down the heat until such point that the pot is just simmering. We'll be cooking the chicken for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. There's a trade-off. The longer you cook it, the more tender it is, but also it will lose a lot more juice from it too, so it feels dry. So my own preference for this drumstick too, I usually cook it for about 40 minutes or so. Okay, so it's almost 40 minutes. I also have a water bath. Once we pull out the chicken out from the pot, we just immediately put in the water bath. That will help it to stop the cooking process. If you have ice, it's even better, but if not, then you just use normal water. We'll also remove all the scallions and ginger from the broth too. We don't need them anymore. Use some sesame oil to rub on the chicken. This will help the chicken to not dry out, and it also tastes great. I find the best way to cut up the chicken drumstick is first to cut out the tendons, then make the incisions along the length of the drumstick, then keep pushing out the meat from the bone, and at the same time keep cutting the meat out from the base of the drumstick. Then you have a nice piece of meat to work with. So while we're brining the chicken, we also can make the sauce first. And I have here the soybean paste. This is Thai style. Put in 2 tablespoons of this paste. You will still see big chunks of the soybean. You can also try to break it up, but I find it to be too hard. So just use it like this. It doesn't really matter much. And also here is the sweet soy sauce. This is also Thai style. It is a lot sweeter. If you don't want to buy this thing extra, because usually I normally use the dark soy sauce, you can also use the dark soy sauce instead. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of the sweet soy sauce plus half a teaspoon of sugar. And lastly, a tablespoon of white vinegar or rice vinegar. Give it a quick mix so that the sugar is all dissolved. And for the sauce, you also need the ginger. I told you this is a recurring theme. So I'm going to use about 3 slices for the sauce. What you want to do is slice it as small as possible. You can start by slicing it into slivets and then turn 90 degrees and cut it into dice. Usually people would just put it into the blender and just blend everything up. But because the amount of sauce that I'm making today is so small, I don't think it will fit into the blender. And you cannot live without chilies or Thai foods. So I'm using 2 today. You can also use nothing at all. I'll just start with a small one. You only need to slice it up and maybe cut it in half a bit so that it's not too big. And then just put it into the sauce. And just give it a quick mix. Then you're done with the sauce. You should start preparing the rice after 20 minutes in boiling the chicken. But I don't have enough space here, so I have to be done with the chicken first, then I do with the rice. I now have a strainer and a cup of rice. Just any regular rice that you normally use. And you just pour it in and rinse it until the water is relatively clear, and then just leave it to drain out the water a bit. And I have here the garlic and ginger. And what you want to do is you can just crush it up. You don't even have to peel it. You will just keep the skin. And you need 3 slices of the ginger. While the water is being drained out from the rice, by the way, you don't have to completely drain it. We'll just prepare the wok first. Start by using medium heat. In the actual recipe, you probably need to fry the chicken skin to render out the fat, and then you use that fat to make the rice. But I think it's a little bit too much work, and I don't have enough chicken skins for my case here, so I'm just gonna use vegetable oil. I think this is totally okay. Using the chicken oil is adding a little bit of flavor, but not that significant. And then put in 2 teaspoons of the vegetable oil. Then you put in the ginger and garlic. Fry it until it turns slightly golden. Then we'll just put in the drained rice. Keep using medium heat and keep turning the rice until it turns slightly opaque white. Just overall opaque white is fine. Not everything has to be that color. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of the sesame oil. Turn off the gas and give it a quick mix. I normally wait for it to cool down first because I don't know why. When it's still hot and I put it into the rice cooker immediately, the bottom of the pan kind of burns too much. If you're preparing rice when you're cooking the chicken, you should end it up with the cooled down rice once the chicken is ready. So then you still have the boiling water. Use that water and put into the rice. Just use slightly less than you normally use when you're cooking your rice. For my case, it is slightly below 1.5 cup of water per 1 cup of rice. Once you put it in, I just let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes before I run it. Once your rice cooker is done, take out the plug to stop the heating process, but don't open the lid yet. Let the steam to be inside for about 15 to 20 minutes more. This will let all the excess moisture to be absorbed into the rice and it will not be too wet. This is extra goody stuff and it's totally optional, but I think it complements well with the dish. This is what we always have with the Hainanese chicken Thai style. So I now have here the winter gourd. If this is not possible for you to find, you can also replace it with daikon radish too. What you want to do with it is you just cut it into more of a bite size. You don't want to use the softer layer in the middle, so just cut it out. And just cut out all the skins. And lastly, you want to cut it into more of a bite size. And this is the chicken stock that is already boiling. Alright, just throw it in. And right away, you can start seasoning. Put in 1 teaspoon of sugar, half a tablespoon of fish sauce, and a bit of salt. For me personally, I will put in 1/4 of a teaspoon. And lastly, this is optional, this is my personal preference, a little bit of white pepper powder. For this one, you don't really need it to keep it simmer, just let it boil all the way. And I think by the time we get our rice ready, when we wait for it to cool down too, then the soup is ready as well. And as usual, if you like the video, don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. And please do leave me a comment and tell me what you think. I'll see you next time. สวัสดีครับ